Welcome to the newest episode of Dragon Quest Boppy. Today is a very special day for two reasons. One, Infinity Strash finally has come out. And man, I feel like it's been a long time coming. The other thing is I have a very, very special guest. Mr. Special Guest, can you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Leo Djax on YouTube, and I'm here to talk about some Dragon Quest.
Respect. It's the Leo Djax, bro. I've been watching you for a while, bro, and I appreciate you coming on the show. You are basically the Dragon Quest Dai guy, is kind of how I see it. But yeah, so welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, brother. Okay, so let's get to know Leo before we get into our main topic, which everyone should already know what it is because you clicked on the video. Leo, dude. So I know that recently you hit your goal of hitting 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations. What is your kind of like goal now? Do you have any specific goals that you have in mind, or future goals, short-term goals? What are you kind of hoping to do now?
I would say, like, in terms of my YouTube channel, I would say just trying to actually be able to monetize videos. I still can't because I don't have enough watch time hours.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to upload more, but really, like, I can only upload once per week. That's just like the max I can do at this point. So I try to upload once a week, and hopefully, as time passes, eventually I'll get my watch time hours up high enough to do that. But in the meantime, I haven't really been too stressed about it. Just been having fun making content, because at the end of the day, I started making YouTube videos not for money, but to do it because I really wanted to talk about Dragon Quest and get more people into it.
Dude, I respect that. Yeah, man. Yeah, I totally get you. In that YouTube grind now, that's the next goal. But I really like your mindset, because at the end of the day, if you're really just thinking about the money, it's just like you're just gonna get burnt out, right? And so yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I've seen, for me, I mean, I'm nowhere near you right now, but I've been getting a lot of watch time from live streaming. I don't know if that's something that you've thought about, but I definitely recommend that.
I definitely, like, now, like, before I couldn't really even like think of it because it's like my laptop was like really bad, but I did recently get like a new actually like gaming laptop. It's more powerful.
Nice.
Now I can probably actually like stream like while I'm playing Dragon Quest and stuff like that.
Dude, you should totally do it. That'd be sick, bro. Yeah, man. Love it. Sweet, man. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So who is your favorite Dragon Quest Dai character of all time?
Oh my god, that is like such a hard question. That is such a hard question. Because I've said this, like, my friends have asked me the same question before, and I'm like, I'm always kind of stuck between the three that is like Daimam and Pop, because Pop's character development is better than Dai's, right? Yep. But Dai's like whole concept as a Dragon Knight to me is cooler than being a mage.
I agree.
And Mam is just a super cool female character, so it's hard for me to like choose between the three of them. But like, if I had to choose between one of those three characters, I'd have to choose Dai.
Ooh, nice.
I don't know. I just like he's just such a cool little guy,
Yeah. Dude, I really like, one of my like dreams is that Infinity Strash does well enough where like the creators want to like come back and finish the story, and then we can maybe see an adult Dai, bro. I think that'd be so sick.
I heard like stuff about that too.
Dude, I really, really hope it does well. And yeah, because Dai is such a cool character, obviously. I mean, it's his show. But I would love to see the time skip of like what actually happens after. But anyways.
I would like to too. I wonder if he's gonna be like tall, like his dad Baron. Like, I just wonder all that.
Dude, I hope so. It'd be sick. At least be taller than Leona, so it makes more sense.
Yep.
But yeah, so awesome, great choice. And then, do you have any theories or reasonings as to why you think maybe this game, Dragon Quest Dai Infinity Strash, ends only after episode 41 of the 2020 version of the anime?
So, I think I talked about this a little bit on Dookie's channel, but like, I definitely do think that like in the beginning, they wanted to like make a game that covers the whole anime, but they just realized like it was just too much for their development team. So I think that's kind of when they like pulled the reins back and like started this cutoff at episode 41. And I think that's just that's what I've always thought happened. Obviously, like we don't know anything for certain,
right?
But I remember like when we first like had gotten gameplay for this game, because we've gotten footage like it's been like a 2-year delay. And I remember when we first got footage, like the footage we got had some stuff that was like pretty far into the anime, at least past episode 41. I know that for sure. Like we saw stuff like the Madroa, and things like that. So maybe they just wanted to, I guess, release a more polished game, and so they pulled the reins back.
Dude, I hope that stuff that you're mentioning, maybe DLC, maybe?
I hope so too.
We'll see, bro. Just 1 week away. So, awesome. And then just one more question to get to know you. I asked this to all my guests. I know you've played DQ5. So, Bianca, Neda, or Deborah?
So, my answer to this will probably always be Deborah. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I just come to realize, I like girls that are a little mean. But then, like, recently, like, I actually been meaning to make a video on this, but, like, recently I watched the Dragon Quest Your Story movie. It was, like, probably, like 2 or 3 weeks ago I seen that movie. And, that movie did make me appreciate Bianca a little bit more. Like, the movie did make me appreciate Bianca more.
Yeah.
But I think I'd still have to choose Deborah.
Hey, that's cool. Actually, because I interviewed Pendy from Slime Time yesterday. His episode and mine will be up tomorrow, but the week before Infinity Strash, the week before this episode comes out. But he also said Deborah, and so, but it's the first time I've talked to people that have chosen Deborah so much. It's usually Bianca or Neda, but it's cool. It's cool to hear differences and choices, so I respect it.
Yeah, I'm not, like when I first played the game, like I'm not gonna lie, I did think I made the wrong decision because she was acting up. I don't know, but like as the game progresses on, like she does get better. She does get better.
Yeah, that's what I hear too. I've heard a lot about her character development, and it seems to really like scare people at first and then really just admire her afterwards or something like that. But so anyways, that's cool, man. Great choice. Awesome. Okay, so let's get right into the main topic. Let me just explain before to everyone. So me and Leo talked about this beforehand. So it's kind of confusing to really like I guess identify the actual arcs for Dragon Quest Dai, because the wiki says one thing, but also there's not a lot of detail in the wiki, especially for the later episodes. But I did find a post on Reddit, shout out to Tyler X Tyler on Reddit, that broke down the arcs, and I'm just going to read through them real quick. So basically, there's the intro arc, episodes 1 to 2, Avon arc, episodes 3 to 5, Crocodile arc, 6 to 9, Hunko arc, 10 to 13, Flazzard, 14 to 21, Baran, 22 to 32, which is the Destiny arc, Martial Arts, Tournament Arc 33 to 37. Sovereign Rock Castle 38 to 41. That's where the game is going to stop, supposedly, the story. The Royal Guard Arc from 42 to 57. This Disciples Training Arc 59 to 64. And then the final arcs are from 65 to 100. So 65 to 73 is the final challenge. 74 to 90 is the Palace Infiltration. And then the last final battle arc is 91 to 100. So let us know if you agree with this list, by the way. But we're going to kind of go off of that. So anyways, Leo, would you like to say your number 3 first, or would you like me to go first?
I'll just let you go first.
Okay.
I want to hear your third favorite.
Okay. You wanna judge me first, huh? Okay, so all right. So again, we'll go. This is our top 3. So we'll do my number 3 first, then Leo, and then my number 2, then Leo's number 2, and then we'll both talk about our number 1s. But number 3 for me, bro, is the Destiny arc, or the Baran arc, basically, or Baron in English. Man, this arc for me was just absolutely incredible. And correct me if I'm wrong with like the events that happened, but basically the beginning of this arc is where Dai is learning who he actually is. You know, he's learning who he is, and he's also learning like what technically his fate or destiny should be as a Dragon Knight. But he decides to reject it because Baran threw away his human part, his human soul, his heart, because, and we don't find this out until later, but because of all the hurt he's been through, all the damage, all the things that these lowly humans have caused him, all this pain. And at the end of the day, I honestly don't blame him for going bad, bro. I mean, he had his whole world literally just destroyed in a way, and he lost his son at the same time. And so, like, yeah, it's just such a great arc because it shows really Dai confronting, what his destiny is, literally the Destiny arc, and him choosing to go against it. He wants to follow the footsteps of his hero, of his late hero, Avan. He wants to be a disciple of Avan. He wants to be a hero. He doesn't want to be this, sort of super powerful, like, judge person that judges, and just destroys people depending on their, whatever. And so I think it's really cool because of the development of Dai is incredible. Not just that, but also the team, just the fortitude of the team backing Dai, facing this incredible, powerful, literally final boss level threat. And dude, they stand their ground. Crocodile does his best, although he gets rocked multiple times.
I remember that.
Dude, oh my gosh. And then just everything, like Hyunko's fighting as well. I mean, is this also the arc where they show like Hyunko against the Dragon Masters and Pop as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so just all the fighting and all the development and like also with Larhart and just like Hyunko accepting Larhart's, will. It just, for me, it's such an amazing arc for like character development. How do you say? I always say Merulu because that's how they say it in the Japanese anime. But how do you say it in English? Merle?
I'm not sure. I've always just said like merely, but that's probably completely wrong.
Oh, I mean merely. I always just copy the Japanese dub and just say Merulu. But I think she's super cute. I think she's a great character as well. But overall, just the character development of the arc, the fighting, oh my gosh, it's so incredibly animated. Just, it's so good. Like Dai and Baran fighting, especially when he goes into Dragonoid mode, was top tier animation. Just incredible fighting, just spells, just so much cool stuff happened. And at the end of the day, Baran lost, bro. And he walked away. I mean, it was just such a cool arc, man. It's amazing fights, amazing character developments. So that's why that's my number 3. So yeah.
Definitely. That's definitely one of my favorite arcs as well.
I guess I should. Is that in your top 3 too, or no?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
definitely.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess I'll just go with my third favorite.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
My third favorite arc would have to be, I don't know what it's called on Wikipedia, but on your list it's called the Flazzard arc.
Oh yes.
And I would say like I'm biased towards this arc in general just because like Flazzard has always been like, besides Baron, I would say Flazzard is one of my favorite Legion commanders. I just think his character is just so cool in that like he doesn't really care about pride. All he cares about is winning. Like he'll do anything to win. Like he has no honor. And he has that cool gangster chain, like I just thought it was super cool. But I also like this arc too because it was like the first time he used like a true Avant Strash. Or was it the Avant Strash or Air Slash? No, I think it was the Air Slash he used, and then after he mastered the Air Slash, then he used the true Avant Strash.
Yep.
But just that whole like transition of that battle, I just think was so cool. And I also think it was cool because that arc helped set up Mam, right? Because her magic bullet gun broke, trying to free Leona from that cursed ice spell.
Right.
And then that's what led to her becoming a martial artist later on. So I think it was like a very pivotal point for, I would say, Mam and Dai. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what Pop did, even though I know he definitely did some like significant stuff. I just can't like remember off the top of my head.
No, yeah, you're good. Yeah, but, I know he fought back Hadler for a while before Hunkel shows up and steals the show.
Yep.
But yeah, besides that, yeah, I don't remember too much after that. But yeah.
I'm trying to see what other events here, because it kind of tells you some of the stuff that happens on Wikipedia.
Right. Yeah, I know for like I really like this arc as well because it's also when Crocodile and Hunkel actually come and back up the heroes, and their entrances were amazing.
That whole like section was very nice.
Oh, dude, it was so cool.
When they were all like on the island trying to fight off Hadler, and I forgot Hadler made an appearance too during that arc.
Yeah,
and that was like I guess you could say like normal Hadler before superior being. So he was still relying on his claws and like his frizz fire spells. It was so good.
Using his minions as shields, meat shields. Poor guys.
Yep.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, and I would say that's definitely my number 3 spot.
Dude, yeah. And then I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but when he truly does, the first time he does Air Slash Dai, it was an incredible animation, but he only nicked his core or whatever. He like scratched it or whatever. But when he does the actual Air Slash, then he like does some damage. After that is when Miss Fern gives Flazzard his armor.
Yeah, the armor.
And that's when he beats him with the Von Strash. I'm pretty sure, but I think
that was like the first true Avant Strash because you have to master Air Slash, Wave Slash, and Earth Slash to do like a true Avant Strash.
Right.
So before that point, he only knew like the Wave and Earth Slash.
Right.
And I think I talked about it like back when I was talking about Dragon Quest pretty regularly, like. He was kind of substituting like Air Slash with his Dragonic Aura, and that's why like his Strash was still so powerful because he was kind of subbing it out. Because I think with Air Slash, you're essentially using like Aura of Light,
Right.
right? Because remember, there's Aura of Light and then there's Dragonic Aura, and Dai can use both.
Right.
I guess he's him. You know,
Yeah.
he can just use Aura of Light and Dragonic Aura.
Bro, that's a good observation. I didn't even realize that. I like that. That makes sense. Dude, that's cool, bro. Yeah. No, that was an awesome arc. Great fights, great moments as well. Yeah, love it. Cool, man. All right. So, anything else you want to say on your top or your number 3, or should I go to my number 2?
Oh, you can go to your number 2.
Okay, number 2 is, and honestly, I might need some help actually remembering the events, but basically the final battle, the final arc, 91 to 100. So,
oh my goodness. Yes.
So I was trying to look up the episodes.
I was gonna say it's very funny because I'll say this ahead of time. Like our number 2s are the same. Like this is my number 2 right here.
Hell yeah.
Our number 2s are the same.
Do you remember where this starts? Is this where he goes Dragonoid form, or a little before that?
No, this is definitely when he goes Dragonoid form.
Okay.
Like the final 9 episodes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. The constant amount of just epic moments, incredible animations for them, just the fighting, and just all the freaking cool stuff that happened was just beyond incredible, that I just couldn't I couldn't even breathe. I was the whole time I was just this is incredible. It's just so good. The fighting with Vern, when they were just boxing at first, was just so sick, and then eventually, unfortunately his sword breaks, and then Vern, I think I don't remember if it's before or after Vern goes Megazord mode or whatever. He just goes turns into a giant.
Yeah.
And then he uses, his dad's sword, bro. That was so freaking cool, dude. That was just the perfect way to end destroying the final boss, is with the help of your father. Just it was just so cool. It was just an incredible, all the fighting was incredible, all the animation was incredible. And then we also got some really cool reveals during these episodes. For example, Matoriv and Masafo, the mages, being brothers. I don't know if you remember.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then things just the reveals, even Derolin, the fake heroes, they were in the exact spot they needed to be to actually help the world, save the world. So many cool little things and little reveals as well that just happen. So anyways, yeah, I'll let you talk too. So.
No, you're good. I'm just hearing you talk is making me so nostalgic because, like I said, this is my second favorite too, and I would say the big thing for me that made me love especially the last 8 or 9 episodes of Dragon Quest Dai, the final part, final arc part 3, I guess, based off this list.
Right.
I would say the big thing is the Dragonoid transformation, because I would say this is I had already I've talked about this before, but I had already knew about this transformation from Jump Force, from I had seen pictures, so I had already known about this transformation, and so this is an anime that spanned a little over 2 years, around 2 years,
right?
And I had been waiting for this transformation for a long time. I thought maybe I'd see it around episode 30 when he fought Baron. Because I thought okay, he's gonna
makes sense.
He's gonna use that form too, right?
Yeah.
But then they didn't, and the show just kept on going and going and going, and then you see I don't know the exact episode he transforms, but it's probably around 96, 97 or something.
Makes sense, yeah. Sounds about right.
That when he used that transformation, I was I've always said this, especially to my friends too, but the impact of that transformation in terms of a battle shonen just hits for me so much, because they waited till the end, and Dai, like unlike like other shonen protagonists, like he only transformed once. That was it.
Oh.
Like he only needed that one transformation, and he needed it against his final enemy. And I just think that was just like so cool. And I think it was cool how they implied like, oh yeah, Dai could have used his transformation like a long time ago if he really wanted to, but he didn't want to lose his humanity. I just thought that was like really, really cool too. In terms of like what else I liked about this arc, like you said, like that, like the tension I felt in this arc was like, I will say, even though it's not my favorite, the tension I felt from it was higher than like anything else. And I guess because it is like the final arc, but like the way Vern was like, yeah, I just dropped nukes like all over the world. Like when he said that, I was like, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. Like I was like, that is crazy. And then like they're all of the cast just like scrambling to be like, what are we gonna do? These bombs are gonna go off in like a few minutes or so. Like it was just like, it was so I can't even describe the word. And I just think it was cool how like the bombs like played a part even in like the very end, right? Because you have that very final scene with Kilvern, and it's like, yeah, Black Cores, you know, they still are menacing because the one was in Kilvern and then Dai, you know, sacrificed himself. So
yeah,
I just think like, I think it'd be cool like touching on the like the concept of Black Cores, because it's like we've seen it not only in the final arc, but I think wasn't one like implanted inside of like Hadler, I think, at one point?
Yes, sir.
And yep. And so I just think it was so cool how they touched on that concept again, and like I think in a future arc, maybe like if Riku Sanju or the other I forget the names, the other person that like writes Dragon Quest Dai, like if they wanted to touch on like who manufactures like the Black Cores, like maybe that could be like a whole like arc in the future.
That's
you know, like who's manufacturing this super dangerous like explosive.
Dude, that is a good question. I also like how you brought up the Black Cores and the explosion and, you know, the nukes and everything, because this anime does such a good job, because I've watched many anime, but this anime does such a good job with like one-upping itself and making the threat even bigger every single time. Like there's always like a bigger threat. Like, you know, it's one thing, and then there's another enemy, and then there's another situation, and then there's another. Oh, the heroes beat this. Okay, cool. Oh, they beat Miss Vern. Oh, guess what? That was just half of actually what Vern is. Now it's actually Vern. You know, Vern is a combination of Miss and then, well, you know, like the threats just kept getting bigger, and then there's nukes all over the world. What are you gonna do now? Like, it just always felt like, oh my gosh, like the bad guys are incredibly prepared. Like, I have never seen like the bad guys so prepared, like to take on the heroes. And yeah, you're right. Like, I don't know. It's just such a cool, like, it's just so good. It's just so good.
It really is so good. I would say like the only negative parts of the final arc, and it's why like it can never be my favorite, and I'm sure like if you talk to other people who watch Dragon Quest Dai or people who are watching this video right now, like the way, like, you know, I love the moments between Dai and Pop, and I'll touch on that in a second.
Ooh, yeah. But
like the way all the other characters just kind of got sidelined, like yeah, we use the magic eye jewel, and then like they just got like they became irrelevant in an instant. And I was like, oh man, you know, like I really wanted to see Hyunko maybe use like, I don't know, Grand Cross on Vern.
Ooh.
Maybe you see Man use like Refractor Fist, or at least them at least like boxing before they got taken out. Vern was just like Control Alt Delete, and he just got them out of the way. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but that was kind of sad, you know, especially like Crocodile, you know, I mean, I don't want to say this because he wasn't, but like he was kind of useless at the end, unfortunately. Like, he served his purpose with the army sort of thing, but once he got to like the final boss dungeon area, he was kind of just like, he was just there for moral support sort of thing. But yeah, bro, dude, totally agree. Yeah, man. Awesome. great choices we have for the number 2. Okay, I guess now we go to our number 1 choice. So I'll start. I chose, and so this list I really thought about more than I usually do when I put together a list. Because in reality, my number 1 at first was the Baron arc, Baran arc. But then I started thinking about it a little bit more, and I actually chose to put as my number 1 the Royal Guard arc. So this is the arc where right after they destroy the castle, the Sovereign Castle, this is where Pop and the heroes, well, first Pop goes to try and fight, kill Vern, and they basically corner him, and Dai comes and kind of saves him. And then after that, the heroes go and fight, and then they fight Hadler and the Royal Guards. And then Dai and Baran are on their own mission, and they go straight for the castle. And eventually, they're all fighting their characters, the Royal Guards. This is where we get to meet him, and learn about him a little bit better, which is a great character, especially later on. His development is amazing too. All the Royal Guards actually have surprisingly good character development. And then this is where Hadler, I started to really like Hadler, because this is where he found out about the Black Core. This is where he found out he was being manipulated in a way, and he still fought Baran and Dai, knowing that Vern was since the beginning betrayed him, because he had the Black Core inside of him the whole time, and he didn't find out until his transformation of superior being. But he still wanted to fight Baran and Dai because that was his main goal. That was his nemesis, and he wanted to see if he could actually do it. Once he found out, or maybe I'm kind of switching up events, but basically it gets to the point where Baran takes the Black Core and does what he does, and Hadler, I think, at the end of the day, helps Dai and Baran, if I'm not mistaken. I could be totally just messing this arc up, but basically it was a cool arc because we got to see father and son do their thing finally. Baran is my favorite character in the show overall. Again, I could have a little bit of bias because I'm a father as well, and in a way I kind of see my son in Dai a little bit. It's kind of cheesy and corny, but
no, it's not. It's neat. It's neat.
Yeah, I just really like it. And then I kind of see myself not necessarily as Baran, because he's he also did some crazy stuff, but I really like Baran's true character arc and his development, and especially here as a father. You could tell he's in a way he's always wanted this. He's always wanted to be with his son, and especially be Dragon Knights together, and it was almost like a very sweet moment. But anyway, so all of that kind of accumulating together is kind of what made, at the end of the day, this arc my favorite. So yeah, and again, I totally might have botched a ton of the events, but anyways, yeah,
no, that's fine. You're fine. I wish I could have spoken more, but I don't really remember the Royal Guard arc too well. Even though it's it was a really good moment in the show, because obviously I love all of Dragon Quest Dai, but
right.
My memory's a little bit hazy on it, so that's why I couldn't speak too much.
No worries, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah, what about you, brother? What's your number 1?
My number 1 was actually your number 3. So
okay, I knew it. Okay.
I love the Baron arc so much,
dude.
To the point where it's actually insane. First off, I have to say that this arc is where this arc is when I fell in love with Dragon Quest Dai. Around episode 30 is when I was okay, I really like this show. This is my favorite anime of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say a reason for that is just the whole dynamic between Dai and Baron. Baron himself just felt like that wall, like he felt like a final boss, even though it was only episode 30.
Dude,
right? Because he comes in, he beats everyone. He literally smack. Like there's one clip where like Hyunko and Crocodile, they go in, they just get slapped around, and like it's just crazy how he was just beating everyone. Dude. It was kind of reminding me of like in Dragon Quest games, like you'll hit like a spot. And it's just like, yeah, you need to go grind some levels. Like, so like you're not ready. You're not ready for it.
Yep.
So that's what it kind of reminded me of. And dude. I would say that, and like Dai just kind of got like his protagonist privilege like flipped on him, because you know most protagonists be like, yeah, I have this special power. Like in Dai's case, it's that he's a Dragon Knight, right? But then Baron comes in, he's like, well, actually, I'm a Dragon Knight too, and you're really not that special. Like, I just felt like that whole interchange was so good. And I'll always remember one of my favorite scenes. I remember when I saw this scene, like I was spamming it to all of my friends, but like whenever like Dai meets Baron like right outside of that underground, like that, not that underground, the underwater temple. And like Dai's like, okay, let me show you my most powerful move, calls Raidane, Zap Strash, and then he uses Zap Strash against Baron, and then Baron's like, eats that. Literally, it's not even like he just moves back a little bit, and he's like, it's pretty impressive you can do this, but let me show you how a real Dragon Knight does it. Calls down Kazap and then hits him with the hardest Giga Break I've ever seen. Like, that's why like Giga Break as a move, like whenever Dai used it like in the final arc, I was like, oh my goodness. That scene alone is definitely like one of my favorite parts of Dragon Quest Dai, and it's why I love the Baron arc. But besides that, I would say obviously the thing between Dai and Baron, but like you said when you were talking about the three, like how Baron was in your bottom three, like the animation was just like really good for this whole fight. Dude, like it was just so spectacular and so stellar that it just kind of left me speechless. And then we have that pop Magante moment, and that move, like I just thought that was like so, like he actually died. It wasn't even that like he was willing to die. He actually just straight up died. And I think that was just like, I was like in disbelief, because like to see Pop like go from that to literally like running from Dai when he's facing against like a 15 like foot crocodile, like like when he was basically leaving Dai to die, unironically, no pun intended. But yeah, I would say like I can't even like fully gather my thoughts, but like I would say those are the main reasons why I love the Baron arc. Just the whole interaction between Dai and Baron, and I would say just his friends. Actually, I would say like I think this arc was also good because it's like, while Hyunko and Crocodile, like they were getting smacked around, at least they were like actually fighting. Yeah. Whereas in the final Vern battle, like they just got turned into like orbs. Like they could not do anything. Like I'd rather see someone get like smacked around than them not do anything. Like
they just turned into Vern's Pokemon.
True.
Dude, that's oh wow. You reminded me of some events that I forgot. Pops Megante, and the way you speak of this arc also just makes me consider bringing it back to number one. But yeah, bro, beautiful, just amazing arc. I totally agree with you. Love it. Yeah, man. Cool. Is that it for your thoughts, your comments for all of that stuff, man?
Yeah, I would say so.
That's fine.
I would say I like just talking about that arc. Like as you could tell, I got pretty excited. Like it was such a pivotal moment for me, like as a fan of the show,
Right.
that I get emotional just talking about it because I really do love that arc, and it's what made me like not only like love the show, but I would say like love the concept of dragons like in general, because I remember like ever since that moment, like my favorite mythological creature always been dragon. Like it's just like at this point I'm like to me that's just I think that's the coolest like creature from mythology, and it was definitely because of this whole interchange between dragon knights and them fighting and them trying to like fight for I guess just their ideals, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think the fact that what Baron said, like, Dragon Knights, they kind of are like the Avatar, right? They try to make sure that like no one race gets out of balance, but yet they excel in everything, magic, spells, hand to hand.
Right.
So I think like that concept was just very cool. It's like to me, it's like Avatar, but like better, but
with dragons.
Yes.
Dude, that's what's up, bro. Dude, I love it, man. Yeah, man, I agree. Incredible arc. But yeah, incredible show. Just, it's very special. It's very special. It sounds like to both of us, and it's a big reason why I wanted to bring you onto the show and talk to you about Dragon Quest Dai. Again, I've always really admired that you've talked about it with such passion for so long, and I'm really happy to talk to you about it, and also I'm really excited for you continuing to do so and bringing us this news. You always, anytime you hear one thing of Dragon Quest Dai, it's like you make a video of it, I swear, like 5 seconds later, and it's like perfect. And so you're kind of like, at least mine, I know, and a lot of other people's like sort of like news for Dragon Quest Dai and many other things. But so yeah, so I appreciate you very much, Leo, for coming on. And yeah, that was it for today's video. Guys, do you agree with our list? Do you think it's crazy? What would you change around? What do you think? Let us know. We'd love to know. Obviously, check out Leo, his channel. If you don't even know who he is, I think that'd be crazy. But check him out. He talks obviously about Dragon Quest Dai and many other games as well. And so yeah. So anything else you want to say before we close, Mr. Leo?
Honestly, at this point, I would just say Infinity Strash launches in like 8 days. Please get this game. If you're a Dragon Quest fan in any capacity, please get Infinity Strash. I would love to see like all the support we can for this game.
Agreed.
Just for what you said, like obviously DLC would be nice. A possible second game would be nice. There have been rumors of like a Dragon Quest Dai movie, which pure rumors. I haven't seen anything confirming it.
Oh shoot!
But like,
okay,
that would be really nice too. Like if the game did well, we possibly get these things, because we're kind of like, I'm just afraid of like after when Infinity Strash comes out, we'll be in like this drought in terms of Dai. And that's what I don't want to see. So if you're a fan of Dragon Quest, please consider getting this game. And I'm very hyped because if you wanna experience that arc I just talked about, the Baron arc, it is covered in Infinity Strash.
Yes, it is.
So all I gotta say is that you're in for some greatness if you've never seen the anime.
Dude, I agree. One last thing. So I really hope, and we kind of talked about this as well, but so I really hope Infinity Strash does well. I was going to say, because right now they're coming out with the Yvonne prequel manga in Japan. And so, if that ever got localized, that would be amazing. But the first thing they need to do is finish localizing the rest of the Dai manga. So hopefully,
my goodness, yes.
Hopefully they do that after this game releases, and then we get the Yvonne prequel localized, and who knows, maybe some more stuff like you said. So hopefully we'll see. But yeah, I agree with Leo. Again, this video is actually going to come out the day Infinity Strash comes out, so next Thursday would be the 28th. So by the time this releases, guys, get Infinity Strash, just like Leo said, all right? And yeah, that's basically it for today's video. Again, check out Leo's channel, and we'll see you guys next time.